This episode is not easy to talk about, but I know someone out there needs to hear it. This is for the ones who are loving someone through mental illness, for those trying to keep someone alive while silently falling apart themselves. Today, I want to share what happened next because the road only got rougher. The third attempt, December 16th, 2024, it happened just days before Christmas, December 16th. A day imprinted in my mind not because of holiday joy, but because it marked a terrifying escalation in my husband's mental health crisis. We were in the car having what I thought was a decent day. We'd had a good conversation earlier and I was starting to feel hopeful, but trauma isn't linear. Healing isn't predictable. Out of nowhere, while I was driving, he unbuckled his seatbelt, opened the door, and jumped out of the moving car. Then he ran, trying to throw himself in front of oncoming traffic. My entire body froze in fear. I slammed the brakes and ran after him, praying someone would stop in time. I couldn't believe this was happening, but what made this even more haunting was the cruel coincidence. On May 31st, 2023, just a few months earlier, a suicidal man jumped in front of our car while we were driving. We hit him. My husband was the driver. That incident never left him. And now, months later, he was the one trying to do the same thing. It felt like living in an action movie, but this wasn't fiction. This was my life. It was trauma on top of trauma. How do you come back from that? But here's where it gets harder. This wasn't his last attempt either. There was a fourth time, one that I have never spoken about publicly out of respect. He didn't give me permission to share it, but I'm doing it now because this is no longer just our private story. This is a system failure, a survival story, a message to others walking the same road. You'd think someone trying to end their life would be hospitalized, right? That's what I thought too. But they didn't Baker Act him. Not on the third attempt, not on the fourth. Why? Because when I rushed him to the doctor or to the hospital, he knew exactly what to say. No, I don't want to harm myself. No, I'm not a threat to anyone. Calm, controlled, masked. He knew how to play the system, and they sent him home every time. For those who don't know, the Baker Act is a Florida law and other states' law that allows individuals to be involuntarily examined and potentially held for up to 72 hours if they are suspected of being a danger to themselves or others due to mental illness. But here's the loophole. It requires the person to either verbally express suicidal intent or for the evaluator, a doctor, law enforcement officer, or licensed mental health professional, to witness behavior that clearly indicates a danger. So if someone knows what not to say, they can avoid being held. They can walk out of the ER even if their loved ones are screaming for help behind the scenes. And that's what happened to us. Do you know what it feels like to have someone jump out of a moving car, then walk out of a hospital like nothing happened? Do you know what it's like to go to sleep wondering if you'll wake up to a goodbye note? I knew deep down that he was manipulating the system, but the system let it happen again and again and again. And I want to be real about this because some of you are in the same position, watching someone you love spiral, being told there's nothing they can do unless the person says the magic words. What needs to change? We need better systems. We need trauma-informed care. We need evaluations that go beyond surface level checkboxes. We need real compassionate, proactive support for veterans, for families, for us. But while I'm working on changing the system, I'm also surviving it. And if you're listening, you are too. This journey isn't over, and neither is yours. I still don't have all the answers, but I'm showing up one episode at a time because someone needs to hear that they're not crazy, not alone, and not weak for feeling exhausted. Love can feel powerless, but it's also resilient. Even when the world seems heavy and hope seems far away, I remind myself that healing is not just possible, it is occurring. I am not by myself. Grace holds me, love strengthens me, and truth gives me power. Every breath I take shows that I am strong, and every step forward, no matter how small, is a win. I respect the sorrow we've been through, but I won't let it shape our future. We are healing together, one day at a time, and I choose to believe in the light that is still in us. If this episode resonates with you, or if you're someone who has been on either side of this, please reach out, not just to me, but to the resources around you. There is help. There has to be.